Come on now. I'm gonna make you hate me. Ooh, yes I will. Yes I will. All right. Where's that one guy who loves to give me that downvote whenever I sing? Go ahead, man. Work it out, bro. Knock yourself out. What's up, guys? This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, say it ain't so. Tell me that Robert Downey Jr. did not get himself in trouble by attempting to go woke. I don't know about this, guys. I'll let you tell me. But this article here was in Hollywood in Toto. Hollywood in Toto? Hollywood into two. I don't know what it is, but it's Hollywood in Toto, I'll say, .com. And it says here, the headline, Woke Robert Downey Jr. gets pummeled on Instagram. And it says here, Iron Man's virtue signal attempt goes badly. And his followers let him have it. This is by Christian Toto. Oh, okay. All right. So it's kind of like a blog thing. All right. So according to Christian Toto, it says here, once upon a time, conservatives silently figured Robert Downey Jr. was one of them. The actor's fans followed his precipitous fall from grace, battle with addiction, and subsequent jail stint. Downey emerged from the experience a changed man. It's a miracle. And here's what he told the New York Times circa 2008. And he says, I really have an interesting political point of view. And it's not always something I get to say out loud at dinner tables here. But you can't go from a 2,000 a night suite in La Mirage to a penitentiary and really understand it and come out a liberal. You can't. I wouldn't wish that experience on anyone else, but it was very, very, very educational for me and has informed my proclivities in politics ever since. Okay, so that was back in 2008, all right? That was something like, what, like 12 years ago or so? And he was saying that, all right? So he didn't want to be a liberal. That's not how he saw things. He saw things a little bit differently. All right, so here it is. He's had all of this, all of this success. You know what I mean? Everybody loves him. You know, we love him 3000, all that stuff. He came and made Iron Man his own, Tony. I mean, listen, Robert Downey Jr., to me, it's undeniable. He is very charismatic. He's very talented. I pretty much like him in everything I've seen him in, and that includes Tropic Thunder. I thought his performance in there was genius, magnifique. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. Robert Downey Jr., that's what he was saying. So now, here it is, so many years later, it says here the superstar's political leanings seemingly has swung back to the left. And that's even more clear of late. Witness his Instagram posts. He just posted an homage to the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And before then, and by the way, why is everyone crying so much? I mean, she was something like, what is it, like 87 years old? I mean, she led an incredible, accomplished life. Rest in peace, RBG. I don't get why everyone's acting like it was so unfair, but, you should celebrate a life like that. Before then, though, he tried to go super woke with a post attacking social media hate, and it didn't go well for him. So he posted on social media. He posted on Instagram, and it says here, this is his post. It says, I am freezing my Instagram for 24 hours. Join me. All right, and this is on Stop Hate for Profit. I don't know that group, Stop Hate for Profit. There's two ways you can take that. Either they're saying you're going to stop hate and get paid for it, or they're saying stop people who hate to get paid for it. I don't understand. All right, maybe I'll look that up later. And it says here, it's time to stop hate, bigotry, and disinformation. Freeze Instagram today with me. Stop hate for profit. And that's the hashtag. Okay, so that was like a couple of days ago maybe. And then, of course, social media, people, they have their way. So it says here, the message is part of a Stop Hate for Profit group arrived as part of the September Week of Action program. The group wants to address online nastiness, and yet it focuses on conservative websites far more than hate flowing from the left. No, there's no hate flowing from the left. The left, they're just sugar and spice and everything nice. Stop that. And it says here, Downey or his social media team apparently joined the effort to help the group's mission. It's time to stop hate, bigotry, and disinformation. Freeze Instagram with me today, he wrote. And it drew massive response from the actor's followers, Orlando Bloom, Josh Brolin, Sacha Baron Cohen, who happily sexualized First Lady Melania Trump on Jimmy Kimmel Live. All right, so they supported him. And then other people came in with their responses, and I'm going to read some of it for you. All right, it says here, I hope you speak out against the recent escalation in pedophilia trafficking, and other sex crimes against children. The silence from Hollywood is deafening. Well, you're right about that, guys, and I've talked about that many times. You know, they want to take a stand against whatever the cause of the day is, but they never want to talk. They never want to talk about the victimization of children in Hollywood. You know, you have to wonder why. Somebody else says, what a sacrifice. Someone else says, congrats. Y'all solved racism, you know, by blacking out your Instagram. Hooray. Somebody else says, how about freezing them for censoring stories about pedophilia and sex trafficking? Another says, you literally haven't posted since September 4th, so how's today any different besides you actually posting? So his Instagram was already quiet. You know, he just came back, it seems, to do this. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of us who don't go on social media every single day. It's not always attached to a cause. You have to do a little bit more than that if you want to be felt, I would assume. It says here, disinformation, you mean opinions you don't agree with. Someone else says, give over, mate. You're a multimillionaire. Freezing Instagram does absolutely nothing. Make a real change and stop showing off to your Hollywood mates. Someone else says, the good old social media virtue signaling that does nothing but makes it look like you care. Ouch. Someone else says, okay, want to stop whoever is paying BLM and Antifa to burn down our country? They're the ones keeping hate alive. I don't disagree with that, guys. You know that. I'm not going to go back and forth with people. You know where I stand. Someone else says, literally, the only hate and disinformation is coming from 1, media, 2, leftist politicians, 3, Hollywood elite, and 4, Antifa/BLM activists. You do not see conservatives out here rioting, looting, setting fires, causing violent division, shooting innocent individuals, etc. So don't for a second think the majority of America is behind this pretentious and distracting movement. We know who's causing the problem and where the real truth lies. The days of being manipulated by the media, corrupt politicians, and out-of-touch Hollywood are over. Woo! Yeah, and someone else says, sad to see you support censorship. And let's see, does stopping the hate also include stopping the police officers all over this country who represent all races and religions and risk their lives for low pay and get nothing but disrespect? Yeah, man, that's sad. I haven't read anything that's wrong yet, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. I like Robert Downey Jr., but, you know, people got to have a voice. I was going to make a comment about your position in politics, but I see thousands of others already beat me to it and have annihilated you. And I'm proud to see it. It means we have more true Americans who don't jump on bandwagons to feel included like celebrities do. You deserve this at Robert Downey Jr. You thought you were going to start a movement, but instead embarrassed yourself. Oh boy. Well, that's quite a flogging there, guys. And that's pretty much where the article ends. I mean, there you have it. I mean, he tried to link himself up with some type of movement, and the people just weren't having that. I mean, look, guys, the days of trying to paint a villain here are over. You know, it seems like the media and these groups and everything, they want to have a clear painting of who's right and who's wrong, and you're either with us or you're against us. And Hollywood has chosen sides. But the only thing about it is that right-thinking people, you know, people who do understand human nature and the way the world works, knows that it's never that clear. It's like you have to have your own mind. You have to be able to know something about the conflict, you know, get out there, see what's going on, understand what it is before you make any type of allegiance or decision. And, you know, what it really comes down to is a lot of people have been manipulated. You know, they've been conditioned. And in all of their misguided emotions, they're running out here making life miserable for people who just want to live. You just want to live their lives. So, you know, when you have people like this, Robert Downey Jr. and other celebrities out there, you know, who want to sound off, unfortunately, they end up showing themselves for, you know, the detached, tone-deaf people that they are. You know, they're not like us. They don't live our types of lives. They don't go, you know, back and forth to work every day, 9 to 5, coming home tired with their bodies, you know, sore, you know, trying to make ends meet. So they can't help but expose themselves as being out of touch, you know, when things like this happen. Like I said, Robert Downey Jr., I like you. You know, I really do hope I get to see you as Iron Man again. But you just might want to sometimes fall back and be careful and understand this, you know, environment that we're living in now. You know, it's not really open and forgiving to this type of ignorance. All right, guys, but what do you think? Do you think it's like much ado about nothing? You know, do you think, you know, they're overreacting here by letting him have it this way? Or do you think that, you know, he kind of stepped in it, so he's got to own it? Get in the comment section and let me know, guys. And as always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and you can catch me on Twitter. The link to this article and also my Twitter page is going to be in the description box below, so you can come give me a follow. All right, guys, that's it for now. I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.